If a man comes onto you strong, then there are 3 very important reasons why you need to be concerned and worried. And this is especially true when the man is a smooth talker. So in this video, I'll explain to you exactly why you need to be worried and what you can do about it when a man does come onto you strong. Hey, it's Shen here, the founder of Commitment Triggers and Shen Media, where we teach you how to show up as a high-value, high-status woman whom easily inspires a deep sense of emotional commitment from men. See, I get emails all the time from women who tell me a story along the lines of, you see, I met this great guy. He's so nice. He's so wonderful. It all happened really, really fast. And he came on really, really strong and showed so much interest. But now he's gone. I'm heartbroken. I don't understand what happened. And sometimes it's heartbreaking seeing, the situations some of these women get themselves into. See, what you have to understand is this. Whenever a man comes on strong, it's because he's in it for himself. He's not calibrated to your emotions or the stage or the progress of the relationship, but rather he's going into the relationship focused on what he can get out of it or what he wants to get out of it. You see, it goes back to biology. Okay, I want you to really pay attention here. It's a reproductive strategy of men to come and go very fast. Now remember, men produce about 300 million sperm per day. I mean, they have a lot to spare, right? They're not the ones having morning sickness, back pain, not to mention the sleepless nights with a crying baby. Men don't have to go through the often debilitating process of pregnancy and birth, not to mention one of the most energy-intensive tasks in life, which is child rearing. So men by default can come and go without becoming emotionally attached. They're built this way by default. Now, of course, there are situations where men do become emotionally attached, and you need to have the awareness and the attunement to know the difference. Now, this come quickly, go quickly reproductive strategy of men don't usually serve women. Now, I'm sure you relate to what I'm saying here, right? The biggest problem I see is that most of the time, the types of men who rush in and come on strong are smooth talkers. They know what to say, they know when to say it, and they're smooth with women. In other words, they've done it before. They've had practice, and they've probably even succeeded many times. And it's very, very easy to get sucked into this smooth talking if you're not attuned to your gut instinct, gut feelings. So if you've ever felt like in your gut that something isn't quite right, then you need to really listen to your gut, because your gut doesn't lie to you and it's never let you down. So trust your gut instinct. I know it can be very easy to get sucked into the sweet talk and get blinded by what is actually happening, especially when you're feeling a little bit desperate, whether that's desperate for a boyfriend, a relationship, or perhaps desperate for someone just to give you some attention or validation. That is when you're most vulnerable to these smooth talkers. So let me go through with you the 3 very important reasons why you need to be concerned and worried when he comes on strong. Reason number 1, he's not in it for you, he's in it for what he can get out of it. Now, you have to get this, right? You have to get this. As I've mentioned already, if a man truly wants to know you, learn more about you, truly wants to discover the human being that you are, he would naturally want to become attuned to your needs, your wants, and your feelings. It's natural, it's intuitive. It doesn't take any skill, just the willingness to do so. Look, sure, I understand. Sometimes you can fall in love and chemistry happens real quickly. That's completely okay. Chances are, if he was in love with you and things do escalate that fast, you wouldn't have that same feeling that he was coming on too strong, because it would be attuned to the context of the relationship. It would be attuned to the context of the relationship. But if you got to the point where you actually feel like he's coming on too strong in your gut, right? Then listen to your gut instinct, listen to your feelings, because there is a disconnect and mismatch between the amount of attraction and connection in the relationship and his actions. I'm going to say that again because it's quite important. There is a disconnect and mismatch between the amount of attraction and connection in the relationship and his actions. It's because he's not really attuned to your emotions and where you're at. To be attuned means to get out of himself and feel what you feel, be where you're at, and respond accordingly. If a man truly values attraction and connection and wants you to feel attraction back for him and want you to connect with him, then he will naturally want to spend the energy to be attuned to you. However, if he comes on strong, then you can almost be assured that he's not valuing being attuned to you. He doesn't care about attraction enough between you two. He just wants his own needs met. See, emotional attraction cannot happen when two people are not in sync, not on the same page, not aligned. It cannot happen. For emotional attraction to occur, two people need to constantly be checking in with each other to see where the other person's at emotionally and be with the other person emotionally. You have to be both on the same page. It's an act of bouncing back and forth and responding to the spontaneity of the moment. Now, if you ignore your gut feelings for long enough, then his lack of attunement to you will lead to much worse consequences. If you're just focused on how desperate you are for some attention or for that relationship status and ignoring what your gut is telling you, then you are going down a very dangerous road. Reason number 2 of why you need to watch out when he comes on strong. Because if he comes on strong, then he probably has no plans of investing in you long term. And when I say investing in you, I mean in you as a person, in your health and well-being, and in a relationship with you long term. Long term is the key word here. Now, I think we all intuitively know that to become invested in someone takes time. It takes effort. It takes a lot of bonding and relating. Emotional investment doesn't just magically show up one day. It comes with the accumulation of connected moments, feelings, and emotions. And most of all, it takes two people having to be present with each other and attuned to each other's feelings. That's what it takes. If a man doesn't actively take the effort to feel your emotions and go deeper into you emotionally, then he's not planning to emotionally invest in you long term. And whether that's intentional or unintentional, it doesn't matter. And by the way, a man who isn't emotionally invested can easily move on and leave you. It doesn't matter if you've just met him last week or you've been married to him for the last 10 years. Men who are not emotionally invested can leave at any moment without warning. Personally, I wouldn't even call that a relationship. I mean, a true relationship is all about emotional investment, isn't it? Think about it. Now, reason number 3, if a man comes on strong, then he usually has an exit strategy. An exit strategy. Now, as we mentioned before, men who come on strong and fast will usually disappear just as quickly. I mean, that's their whole game plan. Their exit strategy is usually to see how far they can go with you, how much value they can extract from you before you demand something back, like commitment and exclusivity. And this is usually revolved around sex. So at any moment he feels like he isn't able to progress any further with you without a more serious commitment, for example, then he's likely to move on, and move on very fast. Now think of this in terms of opportunity cost for men. Opportunity cost for men. If he gets dragged into a committed and exclusive relationship, then he virtually loses the opportunity to chase other women. A man has the capacity to spread his seeds far and wide. We're talking about, in theory, potentially impregnating hundreds of women here, even if he's the lowest value man on earth, even if no woman would ever touch him. His biology would still dictate and tell him that there are so many more opportunities out there. So the strategy of coming and going fast is to minimize that opportunity cost so that he can move on quickly onto someone new. Now, this opportunity cost wouldn't matter so much if he was in love, because suddenly his brain is being hijacked by a huge surge of hormones such as oxytocin, vasopressin, and dopamine. If a man is in love, then he would have absolutely no choice but to emotionally invest in that woman. But he can't fall in love without being attuned to that woman first. I mean, it's impossible. So, when a man comes on strong, he isn't attuned. He's in it for himself. And he always has that idea in the back of his mind when to pack his bags and leave, because he has no intention of committing long term. He knows that there is an exit strategy already in place. So let's recap those 3 reasons why you need to be concerned when a man comes on strong. Number 1, he's not in it for you. He's in it for himself. He's not attuned to your feelings and emotions. Number 2, he has no intent to invest in you long term. And number 3, he already has an exit strategy and will probably move on quickly too. So now you might be asking yourself, what can you do when a man does come onto you strong? What are your options here? Well, I think the only thing you should be doing is to slow things down. Slow things down. Stop him in his tracks. Slow down his advances. I mean, your job is to stop him. Throw some challenges in his face. Test him. Figure out how much does he really care about you and your feelings. There's a term I call indicators of commitment. Now, you want to see how many of these indicators of commitment he is showing. See, it's not about how much interest he's showing you, but rather it's about how committed and invested he is in you. You see, showing interest is one thing, but having emotional commitment and investment, that's on a totally different level. It's a totally different ball game. You want to figure out once and for all, is he here for you? Or is he here just to take what he wants and then leave? If you can slow things down and really start to put him through the tests, one of 2 things will happen. Number 1, he'll be drawn along, right? Follow the mystery and discover a whole new world that he wasn't able to see before. He'll start to like you for you. He'll start to enjoy spending time with you, and you'll really start to build some real emotional attraction and connection along the way. Or, number 2, he'll become discouraged when things slow down and will disappear out of your life, which is great because you don't want these men to be taking up all your energy and all your time, right? So either way, you'll have a clearer sense of where everything is going, and therefore you can make better and more empowered decisions for yourself. And you can only do this when you slow things down, when you become more attuned to what is really happening. Now, by the way, I don't want you to think that men are just out there to take advantage of women. Most men don't really know what they want until it's in front of them. So they're really just operating on their own default instincts in the meantime. So I don't want you to, point the finger and make men wrong for doing what they do. I mean, there are plenty of reproductive strategies of women that don't serve men either. The point here is for you to become more aware, have more knowledge in why men do the things that they do, so that you'll have a better idea of how to respond in a more high-value, high-status way. Remember, men are always responding to your energy. The energy you put out into this world will come back to you multiplied. Now, if you want to really have a deeper level of awareness and knowledge in how to get a man more emotionally invested in you, how to look for indicators of commitment or test his levels of commitment, then we have the perfect program for you. It's called Commitment Control version number 2. Now, I'm sure there's a link somewhere on this page that you can click onto that will give you a lot more information and a lot more details about it. I'm very proud of it. Our members absolutely love it too. But for now, just remember, if a man comes onto you strong, be attuned to your gut feelings, your gut instinct, because your gut feelings won't ever let you down. Alright, so that is all from me. Take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you real soon. There are two distinct traits of women that men routinely fall in love with, regardless of the woman's age. Now, I don't have to tell you that men and women are inherently different. I mean, no shit, Captain Obvious. But listen.